Good day, viewers. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy the news today. Please feel free to share what you think and feel. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Of South Africa. Now, the rest of the frontline states were the ones who were pro-liberation, anti-apartheid, including the likes of Zimbabwe, Zambia, Angola at the time. Then they decided we're going to have a summit to discuss what to do. Kaunda and Samora actually flew a few weeks before to Blantyre to speak to Kamuzu Banda and beg him to stop supporting Renamo and stop being used by the apartheid regime at the time. That's how they saw it. He refused. So Samora said, guys, we need to act. I need a meeting of the heads of state to decide what is the action. And Samora, a few months before, I went with Samora Machel and other journalists to Tete. He showed us the missiles where he had deployed them. They were literally facing Malawi. So he was ready to go to war against Malawi in order to make sure that the apartheid government would stop supporting Renamo. So the stakes were very high at the time in Southern Africa.
And what was then the importance of this meeting in the...
Let's watch some small video, and so that we can comment.
The first question that I have reserved is for you, Ms. Dudula. Let me just ask an open-ended question. If I said frontline states, what comes to mind and what can you say in relation to that?
So now this is about the people. We have this Freedom Charter where Operation Dudula is entrenching the Freedom Charter that says people shall govern. And currently we don't have leaders. We are on autopilot.
Only autopilot, not frontline.
No, I'm asking about frontline states.
Frontline states. So this is about. Are you now taking this together with?
If I say to you frontline states, from a historical perspective, what comes to mind as we have this conversation?
The frontline states, I would believe it's about the people in power.
Let me help you. You obviously doesn't know what a frontline state is.
Okay.
She obviously doesn't know what a frontline state is, right?
Just imagine if you are not in Muzanzi, you don't know this story.
I don't normally respond to things that I say about me on social media platforms, but this time I thought, let me just do it. Now that somebody decided to, resurface an interview that happened months ago. I'm not sure of the intentions, but yeah, we're here now. Now the question that caught me off guard in this interview was about the frontline states. These are moments that reminded me that leadership is also a learning journey, and I'm willing to learn. And I learn on a daily basis about new things. Zandile Dudula is a girl from Soweto who stood up when it was not even fashionable to talk about foreigners in this country, because yes, we are in a crisis. Illegal foreigners are a problem in our country. Mine is to just make sure that I protect the sovereignty of this country and prioritize the people of this country. You want to tell me about frontline states? Don't. I don't care about those words. I don't care about those terms. We are in a mess as a country and we need to fix it. The politicians that are claiming to know all of these terms, they're not helping us. So that's what Zandile is all about. Zandile is about making sure that I save this country. I save the little that's left, and making sure that South Africans benefit from all the economic opportunities. The government will tell us actually with how much did they save since we started our programs, where we've been in clinics, hospitals, making sure that our resources are not exploited. No one's saying anything about it. But all you can tell us is about this frontline state, don't. But, I've always believed that there are, nationalities in this country that feels entitled and are benefiting from economic opportunities, in this country. And there are, I'm not sure if it's because of the historical agreements that we don't know about, but this is just one of the root cause of the problems that we're facing as a country. These terms that are being used by politicians, your frontline state, don't, that are not helping us in any way. We are in a mess as a country, and we need people that are going to help us reclaim the little that's left from this country. Now, some politicians would ask for questions before their interviews. Well, I don't do that because I want my interviews to be authentic, because I talk about real issues. I talk about things that are affecting people on the ground on a daily basis. So I would not like to be compared to those people. I am a patriot. All that I'm fighting for as Zandile Dudula and Operation Dudula is that we want economic freedom for our people, and we want South Africans to be privatized. That is one of the mandates that I'm going to focus on, saving South Africa. Now, my stance will not change. Whether you mock me on social media platforms or whatever, I will remain resolute in making sure that I save this country.
Best candidate for this job?
Yeah, it's job, and it's going to be on his job.
Okay. Then how many years of experience do you have?
And experience you have, and change, making a change.
Or you gonna use that experience to change few things?
Yeah, experience you change. Yeah, experience you change.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
Yeah, 5 years time. I don't need 5 days inside.
Can you explain further?
No.
Just give us the elaborate.
Elaborate. And I'm elaborate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Then we'll call you.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Do you have questions? Any questions that you want to ask the panel?
Yeah, any talents you can use, and just you can just make it. You can.
Okay, no, don't worry. The salary is the same as that you saw on the advertisement, and the package is also the same.
Of course, she didn't know what a frontline state is. Why are you shocked? Why are you shocked? Maybe I was a little shocked because I actually thought she knew. My problem was expecting her to know things. I was half expecting her to actually take it and maybe work it around in her favor, try and morph it, say, no, that was then, this is now. But she just didn't know. And that's the person you guys have leading y'all. That's the person who's leading y'all. Either way, I feel like any person with a basic understanding of South African history, or anybody who understood exactly what it took to get us right here, would not be so insensitive as to scream #Abahambi to people. Because that means you actually know things. You know how we got here. You know who helped us. You know how we got free. You know what a frontline state is. She knows nothing, and so do the rest of them. So we should not be shocked. In fact, we should be so grateful to that anchor for highlighting to us, or highlight like highlight ka yellow. Bah, now what? Can we please focus our energy on the South African literacy rate? Can we please get kids understanding basic history, like basic South African history, before we go around bullying Zimbabweans while Israelis buy up South Africa through Cape Town? Like, can we please do important things in this country?
The first question that I have reserved is for you, Ms. Dudula. Let me just ask an open-ended question. If I said frontline states, what comes to mind and what can you say in relation to that?
So now this is about the people. We have this Freedom Charter where Operation Dudula is entrenching the Freedom Charter that says people shall govern. And, currently we don't have leaders. We are on autopilot. And that's where Operation Dudula comes in.
No, I'm asking about frontline states.
Frontline states. So, so this is about, are you now taking this together with the
If I say to you frontline states, from a historical perspective, what comes to mind as we have this conversation?
The frontline states, I would believe it's about, the people in power.
Let me help you. You obviously doesn't know what a frontline state is.
Come again?
She obviously doesn't know what a frontline state is. right?
Good evening. Units of the South African Defence Force carried out raids on ANC targets in Gaborone, Botswana today.
General Viljoen told the news conference that the death toll included 3 trained women terrorists, while 2 unidentified persons who fired on the South Africans from a vehicle might also have been killed. 1 woman and 2 children were injured in the crossfire.
At 4 o'clock that very afternoon, after they were killed, I opened the TV. They used to have news at 4 o'clock. At 6 o'clock I did the same, at 7 the same, and all the time they were showing the same pictures in Botswana, his bed, the 1 bedroom full of blood where they were lying, and the TV shattered and so on, and things just thrown all over, and the cars damaged in the yard. And then I phoned Botswana, and there was nobody to reply the phone at his house. And then I just told the father that I think they're gone.
Most white South Africans were very proud of these actions of the Defence Force. But for Hilda Pathlé, it was her worst nightmare come true. Her son George lived in Gaborone. George's brother Levi watched his family being killed by SADF Special Forces commandos.
Levi watched from under the bed. He was hiding when he saw them killing the brother and the wife. And he heard them when one said, do it, and the other one said, Morse, do it. Levi says from the time they got out of the Kumbi, it was that George, you must dear, you must dari, magdi dear up, magdi what dear up, and so on. So they knew where they going, who they were going to kill. They knew it was George.
George Pathlé had worked as a courier for the ANC underground in Botswana. But the SADF raid was by no means as surgical as the SADF claimed. In his recent court case, the former commander of Vlakplaas, Eugene de Kock, testified that the commandos involved in the raid were not able to bring back any evidence that those they killed had in fact been ANC members. They found no weapons or ANC literature in the houses they attacked. The sophisticated